Hi friends! If you want to check out another collab with the beautiful Jackeline customizing our own Viseart Petit Pro palette, then please keep on watching. Hi, I'm Alicia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Especially if you're coming over from Jackeline's fam, welcome, make yourself at home. And if you are returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things all movement and beauté. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups, you can head over to my Instagram. Bringing you another collaboration with Jackeline. I can't tell you the overwhelming positive response we received from our Pat McGrath video. Jackeline reached out then to ask if I wanted to participate in creating our own Pat McGrath palette. She was inspired by Samantha Ravindal's video where she created her own Natasha Denona palette from all the palettes that she had, and she wanted to keep it going, so she did a collab with Morgan Turner in creating their own Natasha Denona palette, and I actually used Jackeline's palette in a Get Ready With Me. I think it was for May. I don't remember. April? Oh my god, the days just feel the same. So definitely check that out. I had a blast with her color curation, and from our Pat McGrath video, we were like, should we do Viseart? Because many of you were asking for Viseart, and Jackeline doesn't have all the Viseart palettes, and although I have all the Grand Pro and a lot of 12 Pro pans, I don't have all of them, but quite a few. I have all the edits as well as some of the Petit Pro. So to make sure she's able to participate, we decided that we'll create a palette from the Petit Pro, some edits, and make our own Petit Pro palette from Viseart. If you don't know who Jackeline is, Jackeline, first of all, where do I begin? Not only is she putting out content consistently, I believe she owns like 2 restaurants. I don't know if it's 2 or 3. I feel like it's 3, but we'll say 2. A catering business. She has 3 kids. She is doing it all, okay? Her channel is mainly about luxury beauty products, reviews, try-ons, get ready with me, roundup favorites of the month, and everything in between. Jackeline definitely restores your faith in humanity. Someone who's so kind and so generous and has the biggest heart, and I'm so happy her and I continue to connect even after the Pat collab, and it is an honor to work with someone with an unwavering work ethic like Jackeline, and also so much fun to connect to a fellow beauty enthusiast, right? We just love the makeup, we love being creative, and having to dive into customization of your palettes, figuring out what colors and textures you would combine, and doing that with someone else, especially for someone who comes from a different background, right? Even though Jackeline's background is with design and architecture and event planning, all that I feel plays a role in makeup in terms of how she puts colors together and textures together. So it's really fascinating, and I cannot wait to see what her Viseart Petit Pro palette looks like. I'll probably be doing a video using it. I'm just saying. So a huge thank you to Jackeline for wanting to work with me again, and of course I will be linking her channel and Viseart video down below so you could pay her a visit, and when you get there, say hi Jackeline. Let's get into this video, and let me clip this hair back because she is, you know, she's just did a wash and go, fresh hair out the shower. Now, this was a little overwhelming, okay? I have all the edit palettes here. You know, it's like, it's only 8 shades, Alicia, really? Really? I actually pulled from 4 edit palettes and 1 pro palette. So I pulled from the Chou Chou palette. And my initial color story concept inspo was purple and orange. When I did my Kaleidos video, and technically Tracy, hi Tracy, in a chat we were in, she was like, the orange and the purple, my goodness. And when I thought about the eye look I did using the Kaleidos eyeshadow palette with that magenta and neon orange, that's kind of where I wanted to go in terms of color theme in curating this Petit Pro palette. With that said, I pulled from Viseart Spritz, which I have a dedicated video using Spritz. 4 looks. It's one of my faves, fam. The Rose edit, which I love this curation. You have taupes, plummy browns, pinky bronzy hues in there. My favorite edit palette out of all of them is definitely the Viseart Dark edit. I had to include some shades from this palette in my custom Petit Pro somehow. The Viseart Paris edit has lovely shades. It's a lot softer, more romantic in feel than, like, let's say the Viseart Warm or the Viseart Spritz edit, but I love some of the shades in here, so I picked out one from here. And then of course the Viseart Chou Chou palette with this metallic pink. Cotton candy had to be involved in my palette in some form or fashion. Most definitely. So I decided to pick the pink packaging because here's the thing with Viseart. Viseart Petit Pro palettes as well as their warm edit palettes have a magnetized frame with grooves throughout the frame. It is easy for you to take a small spatula to take out the eyeshadow pans and just arrange them as you like. Because Viseart originally is a pro brand, and the edit series and the Petit Pro series kind of melts beauty enthusiasts and makeup pro together. Like the worlds collide in terms of presentation to the makeup market. So you still have that pro Viseart quality in the makeup, but you have more of a beauty enthusiast experience in terms of the packaging, because usually Viseart packaging, for instance, with their 12 pan pro palettes, very modest. You got the clear cover, you see the makeup. It is designed for a makeup artist to use, right? You know what the product is, so you can get to work right away. This with the packaging you see is more for the beauty consumer because we love some good packaging, but again, the quality is still present. So allow me to present to you my custom Viseart Petit Pro. Here she is. Now I'm sure you're surprised. You're like, Alicia, why you got some browns in there? I understand, fam. I could have went all pink or all purple, but I love Brioche from Spritz. Brioche is like a peachy type of brown. It's not your typical neutral brown, okay? So I wanted to pick that out from Spritz. Let me get Spritz out here. So Brioche from Spritz had to be in there. Just maybe if you wanted a soft neutral day, you could pair this color with any of the pinks, but I added like a pinky bronze in the mix too if you wanted like a chill moment. Then I have this shade from the Rosé palette in Chocolate. Chocolate here is more of like a plummy dark brown, and I love plummy, even aubergine undertones in dark brown shades because I feel they add so much character to the eye. If you want to create a smoky eye, it's not your typical just dark brown or black shade. It just adds a beautiful tone to the overall look, so I had to include that shade in here. I have two shades from the Viseart Dark Edit palette. We're looking at this shade here, which is Lavender, and I believe the metallic next to it, which is Calypso. Calypso is just, oh my goodness. I know I have swatches for all these. All the palettes that I showcase here, except Rosé Edit. I'm so sorry, I owe you a video for Rosé Edit. I have a dedicated video for Spritz, Paris, and also Chou Chou, of course, Dark Edit. These shades, I had to. If you want to quickly see Brioche, the tone of Brioche I think is so special. And again, the dark brown from Rosé, again, that like purpley undertone I think just meshes really well with the rest of the shades in here. This shade I picked up from the Paris Edit palette, and I believe this is, I think this is Pirouette. Pirouette is so shiny. It has such a beautiful shine. You can combine it with Calypso. You could wear it alone with Brioche. That's what I'm saying, fam. I have you back. I have you back. This shade is from Chou Chou, which is a similar shade that exists in the 12 pan Koi palette. This is the shade Sorbet. Sorbet is a beautiful duochrome shade. It has like a tangerine base or peachy base with the green shift. A very light lime green shift. It is gorgeous to pair with any of the shades in here. If you wanted to steer more peachy, you pair it with more of the pink and purples. If you wanted it to steer more bronzy or for that lime to really show, maybe you'll pair it more with the bronze here. Or wear it alone with Brioche, forget it. Melon, also from Chou Chou. I had to combine Melon because I wanted to have it next to Lavender. These shades together, I absolutely love. I knew I had to have like the coral with the magenta, like it needed to be there. It needed to be there. Last but not least, Cotton Candy, also from Chou Chou. So I have like 3 shades from Chou Chou. I thought Chou Chou was a really fantastic curation of color, but this, fam, it is so high shine metallic. It has like blue reflex in there that to combine it with Calypso. So here is my custom Petit Pro Viseart palette. I know it's not anything crazy out the box, but I just thought about the standout shades that I felt had so much impact in the ones I picked from the edit series, because I wanted to think back when I was reviewing the palette, swatching all the shades, applying all the shades. I'm like, which were the ones that really made me go wow? And I feel like these are it in terms of just selecting 8. Now, if I had to select 12, I might have a different color story, but I feel really good with this selection. Let me know down below what your favorite shades are. I would like to know what you think as well. But with that said, fam, why don't you come in a little closer? That's enough. Usually I reserve the tight shots for my review videos. I'm gonna keep you here just so you could at least see the final looks and the shadows in action somewhat. I have the eyes prepped with the Hourglass Veil Eye Primer. That is just, I was watching Kelsey's May Favors video and she said it best. There's something about the Hourglass Veil products that create like a blurred canvas, but leads to even better performing makeup. It really just helps the makeup perform better. I don't know how they do it. Taking my Sonergy Detail Pro. I'll start with Brioche, okay? I'm gonna start with Brioche so you can see kind of what I had in mind when I was creating this palette. This shade is just so gorgeously beautiful. Again, it's brown, but it has such warmth to it that it's not like your typical neutral brown. I feel there's like a peachiness in there that I thought added really nice gradient or just a different feel to the look. Now, if you wanted, you're most certainly welcome, if you were to use my curation, you could go in with Calypso, you could go in with Sorbet, you could go in with Pirouette. Dare I say, you could go in with Cotton Candy. It will be a lot. It'll be very stark in contrast. But what I want to do, let's say you are really gunning to use Lavender, that magenta matte shade. I'll take a Lavender here with my Sonergy Jumbo Blender. Tap that on the outer V of my lid. Here's the thing with Viseart mattes. If you have not used them before, or you're like, who is Viseart? Viseart mattes, dare I say, one of the best matte formulas on the market. People feel they're not impressed with how they swatch, but the way they perform on your eye is definitely worth noting. They blend like a dream. They diffuse practically by themselves. But what I find is stand out is that the way they look in pan is how they will look on your lids. And those with deeper complexions found that, especially with the dark edit palette that I recommend for deeper complected makeup enthusiasts to buy, these shades and the way they combine, they don't create muddiness. They don't just look neutral. They just enhance each other. And oh my goodness me, it is such a beautiful formula. Like, look how beautiful that looks. Even with the neutral brown. I knew I had to put Brioche in there. I knew it. Taking that brush and just whisking lavender throughout the crease. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. For a little more depth, let's dab on a little bit of chocolate. My Sonergy Worker Pro. So that definitely adds a little more. It's going to take away from lavender, right? So if you were like not really into the magenta shade, you wanted it to appear more neutral, you could layer chocolate on top and it'll tone it down a bit. So know you have that option. On the lid, I have to go with Calypso. You know what I'm gonna do? Calypso and Cotton Candy. I mean, did we really come here to be chill? Absolutely not. With my Isam W23, right where lavender, excuse me, are you gonna focus on me? Right where lavender stopped. Look at that. Isn't that the, I can't take it. With Cotton Candy now slightly overlapping Calypso, but placing it more on the inner part of the eye. Oh, taking a little bit of lavender with my Isam S33, excuse me, just to make everything look smooth. I do want to go in with Sorbet slightly over Cotton Candy because the way it combines with the pink, you think it's going to be a disaster, but it's not, fam. Pulling it slightly under my lower lash line here as well. I think I want to apply Lavender. Do I want to do that? Yes, I do. I'm going to pull it all across my lower lash line with my Chikuhodo T7. Dabbing a little bit of chocolate on the outer portion of my lower lash line. Bringing it up slightly, just slightly, so it could look a little more cohesive in that blend. My Wayne number 15. Whisking Brioche right under Lavender. What is all this residue? Someone didn't properly clean off their lash glue from last night. There we go. Yes. I now want to showcase the coral and magenta together. So with that said, I am going in with, what is the official name of the shade? Hold on. Melon Petit Pro. I could actually go all matte if I wanted. I could place Melon on the majority of the lid and then go in with Lavender. But isn't that such a lovely shade? I'm building it up. You can build this shade up. This is my third time going in. But it's worth it, fam. It's worth it. Also, I could use a smaller brush to apply more pigment on there. That's not a problem. But I insist on using this brush because it just beautifully diffuses. Okay. And again, with Lavender in my jumbo blender. Placing that with Melon and just see, so you have more like a neutral feel on this side, but when you combine the magenta with the coral, it just looks a little more neon. There's a little more pop, and I feel it just makes it more interesting. Just whipping it throughout the crease. I know they look very similar. However, I am going in with Pirouette. This beautifully shiny metallic. It's to die for, let me tell you. And I find people don't fully understand the role of Viseart shimmers and mattes. They're not going to be the same as like a really blindy crazy finish, and I get it, right? I love those finishes as well, but those who have more mature lids or have more texture on their lids find that the Viseart formula in regards to the shimmers and the metallics are a little more forgiving. They're not as thick and as emollient, and they just create a veil of shine that does not accentuate texture and leaves the user feeling more confident in diving more into shimmers and metallics because it's not going to make the eyelid look more folded, right? So I understand that the Viseart formula caters to a different wear of eyeshadow. There's room for everyone, and I definitely know that going in. For instance, I'm not going to Sorbet say, oh, these are not shiny enough. It's like, maybe someone likes it like that. You know what I'm saying? Taking my number 16 from Wayne again, but placing a little more Melon on the very edges of Lavender. Melon on the lower lash line. Definitely going in Cotton Candy on the inner lower third. Lavender on the outer. All right, let me slap on some lashes and some lipstick and I'll be right back. And here's the finished look. I decided just to put mascara on. I hope you forgive me. My L'Oreal Lash Paradise in waterproof, and here is the more like smokier magenta shade with the chocolate shade on the outer corner, and here is the more springy, colorful, vibrant side with Pirouette on the lid and the Melon as a transition shade. And here's a wide shot of both eye looks. On the lips, I have the Mented Nude Liner topped with the Propa Beauty Satin Luminous Lipstick in the shade Finesse. I really love how this look turned out, and I dig these types of tones, the coral and the magenta and the pinks and even the neutral browns. Like, oh my god. I definitely know I could have gone more wild, but this is what I was feeling at the time. And this doesn't have to be the last curation, fam. You know, I could go in more olive, I could go in more blue. The Viseart Edit and Petit Pro palettes have so many shades to choose from, but again, this is what I was feeling at the moment when I was putting all my shades together. And this is something I can use every day. It has a little bit of the neutral, but it has also the pops of the pinks and the magenta shades that I just love. And Sorbet, I just love as inner corner highlight, or even just across the lid as like that light shifting duochrome. It's so beautiful, and I'm so happy that it's in this palette. Let me know, fam, what your favorite Viseart, Edit, or Petit Pro palettes are, what shades you were thinking about combining, what color stories you were thinking about creating. And again, a huge thank you to Jackeline for working with me on this concept and collaboration. I cannot wait to see the other creators that she decides to work with. I think she also worked with, I'm sorry I didn't mention this, she also worked with Tara Lynn with Charlotte Tilbury, so that I have to watch those videos now. I got so much to catch up on. Can't wait to see what she comes up with. And again, I will leave all her information down below, as well as her YouTube channel, her actual video, and her Instagram page. And until then, fam, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, tutorial, make your own makeshift palette from said brand, get ready with me, or nightly life chit chat. Take care, and I will see you again soon.